is our extra butter hour-long Oscar special with every single nominated star representing. Speaking of representing, hanging out with my friends, talking about movies the way you talk about movies, and you're representing Black Panther, taking it to the win.
Wakanda forever.
That's right. Hey, you guys, that's Lance. That is Kelly Savannah Deaton. That is Maria Gloria. Let's sit down and talk about Oscars. Join us, won't you, as we do this hour-long Oscar special.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
All right, first of all, let's meet the players.
Maria Gloria at Maria Gloria.
I'm Kelly Savannah Deaton, Kelly Savannah Deaton.
Lance Woods. Lance Woods.
All right, complain about me, as always, right here at TV Market Sound. You got a whole hour of stuff to complain about. All right, first of all...
Spiffy, I'm interrupting you. You look amazing today.
Well, and you look amazing, and you look amazing.
You look like you hop fresh off a wedding cake.
Yeah.
That's how you look.
Oh, really?
You look good.
Some could go wedding cake, some could say I need to be parking cars in the parking lot.
No.
Either way, thank you very much.
Either way it works.
Look who's representing Black Panther's win.
There you go.
Continent of
Yay.
Africa, right there.
Wakanda for 2 more weeks.
Hey!
Maybe longer, we're about to see. In the meantime, let's start off with an easy topic. Discuss amongst yourselves Best Supporting Actress.
Ooh, Emma Stone in The Favorite.
I'm gonna go with Amy Adams and Vice, you guys.
Really?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm
Who are
going
you
with Regina
thinking?
King.
Oh,
all right.
Respect.
If Bill Street could talk.
Right there, I'm going to Vegas with you on that. Go ahead and bet right now. If you want to win your office pool, if you want to win your school pool, if you want school pool, here rhymes. If you want to win your Vegas options, go with Regina King. She is going to
True.
win, hands down favorite right now.
I definitely agree with you guys. She's gonna take it.
I had a crush on her for a long time, so
Yeah,
that has to factor in.
what's your first memory of Regina King? What do you know her from?
We can't talk about it on TV.
No, your first professional foray into the Regina King.
Still can't talk about
And
it.
by that I mean, what the first TV show or movie you remember Regina King in?
Friday.
You need a job.
You need a wig.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Daddy Daycare, but that's good. Friday's good.
Yeah.
Such a staple of a movie, but I loved her at Daddy Daycare. I'm gonna agree with Mark.
Great.
I
She's
loved
pretty
her at Daddy
exceptional
Daycare.
in anything. Comedic, drama, like, she can do everything.
Yeah.
Dreams.
The most recent thing I saw her in was not If Beale Street Could Talk. It was sitting down with her to talk about Beale Street. Take a look. Because there are some movies that are just all about shoveling the popcorn in and being entertained and jumping into the
And those
action.
are fine.
And there's some movies that are great for breaking open a greater discussion. And if you don't talk about this movie after you see it, I think you'll explode. Yeah.
Right.
you have to talk
have
about
to.
it.
You have to because you're feeling so many different emotions watching this movie. And, you know, I like the point that you made about the popcorn because I feel like so often with movies that you go, you need to see it. They're not always movies that we would categorize as entertaining. This movie satisfies both. It's entertaining and it's moving you on several emotional levels.
Sure.
It's artful and heartful, right?
Oh, I like that.
What a lovely lady. Great performance, great movie. The movie, frankly, overall should have won more nominations than it has.
She's just, what a woman.
Okay.
Yeah, she is
And
incredible.
the pivotal scene, I'm not gonna plot spoil for the people, you should see it. The
Yeah, if you
Puerto
haven't
Rico
seen it, you should see it.
scene,
Oh, yeah.
Man, she is well deserving of this nomination, and I agree she's gonna take it.
That's the moment that I knew that she was going to win the Academy Award. But you say, if not, Amy Adams?
Yes, I loved her in Vice. I think she really held her own in that movie, and even though she's known to play more quiet, kind of demure characters,
Right.
she really stood her own in that movie and really gave that role, like, it brought it to life. Yep.
Funny thing about it, when I sat down with her, she did nothing but prop up Christian Bale. She gave all the props to him.
She's
Take a
so
look.
humble.
You have a unique perspective in that you've been in a movie where Christian Bale lost a tremendous amount of weight and a movie where he gained a tremendous amount of weight.
Yeah, 2 movies now where he's gained a tremendous amount of weight between American Hustle and Vice.
So very few actors or actresses have seen that level of commitment relatively back to back.
No, it's amazing, the level of commitment and the way he throws it himself. Not only his body, but really his spirit and his soul seems to sort of get invested in these characters, and it's very impressive and inspiring.
Going back to that scene about the will you jump aboard with me, there's nothing more awkward than watching people eat on
Oh my
camera.
gosh.
It was
yeah,
amazing.
I've never been a good eater and actor. I'm glad I didn't have to do that.
She is awesome. I still don't think she's going to take it. But let's just say that it does not go to her and it doesn't go to Regina. Who's it going to be?
I think Emma Stone in The Favorite. That whole cast and that entire film is all females, right? You have
Right.
such a strong female cast.
Right.
And the Academy and everyone Hollywood, they love Emma Stone.
Oh, that's
and
true.
she took it before with La La Land, so she could take it again. And she has that amazing British accent, you guys. And she's American. second, so she definitely held her own with this whole movie.
I think she might split it with Rachel Weisz, and that's exactly what I talked about. That's not at all what I talked about. I talked about poop and pee. Look.
Mark.
Sometimes when you're reading through a script, you see the stage directions as an actor, and you know what's happening, but you don't really like think about having to do all of the stage directions. So there were a lot of moments for my character that were like, Abigail falls out of a carriage into mud, or like Abigail hits herself in the face with a book and gives herself a nosebleed, or Abigail gets whipped. And I was like, oh, great, okay. And then each day that something was actually physically happening, those were the moments where I was like, this is nuts. This is totally nuts.
You know, classically people say, don't work with kids, don't work with animals, but there are at least a dozen scenes in this movie where you've got 17 rabbits running around at any given moment. How is that?
Yorgos has a thing about working with animals. I mean, there's animals in all of his movies.
Yeah, right.
The rabbits were very sweet and great. The duck, more complicated. Personality-wise, the duck poops all the time. The rabbits pee all the time, but the duck poops all the time. And who wouldn't choose pee over poop?
Quote of the
Am
day.
I right?
Why all of a sudden now am I getting
second time talking about poop today, by the way. I just keep bringing it up.
Emma Stone, no stranger to the Academy Awards. I'd like to see her win again. I don't think it's going to happen. But if not, we left one other person out. Who
You
else?
guys watch the underdog really take it, and it'd be Marina de Tavira.
Ah.
From
From
Roma.
Yeah,
Yes.
watch her sneak up and grab it. We never know, guys. We never know.
Like Moonlight a couple years
Exactly.
ago.
All right, coming up in a moment, on to the Best Supporting Actor department. Who's it going to be? I have a lock-in guaranteed bet, as well as actress, that and more on our hour-long Extra Butter Oscar special next. Welcome back. It's Extra Butter. It's our hour-long Oscar special. How are we feeling?
Amazing.
Feeling great.
Kelly Savannah Deaton, you've known me a long, long time. Gloria, not quite as long. Lance, we go way back. But have you guys ever known me to be less confident about my picks with the Oscars? It's all over the place this year.
It is. And let me tell you something, you shock me because every time I'm like, there's no way. I mean, you call it when the movie first comes out.
Yep.
Before there's even any buzz, you call it, and you're usually right. But this year, you're probably going to pull through, though.
But this is the year, guys. There's so many contenders. There's so many movies that popped up at the perfect time, pop culturally, everything. It was just such a relevant year. And if anything, this is the year to be stumped. This is the year to be confused. This is the year to be like, I really don't know.
That sounds good.
It's true, however, there is one other sure bet I just thought of. Someone that I know is going to win no matter what.
Who?
Best Actress, it's going to be Glenn Close for The Wife.
Really?
And I didn't even like that movie. I didn't even like the performance.
You know, they split the award with Critics' Choice, Gaga and Glenn Close.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've heard people are leaning towards Glenn Close. And that movie was kind of, it took 14 or 15 years to be made, so you got to give them credit for that. It finally got made. But I was hoping Lady Gaga would pull through and win the Oscar. Give her she's got a Golden Globe, give her an Oscar.
What do you think about The Wife?
I mean, it was one of the best snaps I've ever had in my life.
15 years in the making, 30 years to watch it.
Yeah, but I really did like and respect Glenn Close's performance. She's amazing, she's talented, and yeah, she's well deserving of it, but I really would like to see Gaga pull. I really would.
Right.
Glenn Close is a veteran, but
The Wife is about a malcontent, angry wife holding in a lot of secrets about her husband's deep, dark past.
did it sound familiar?
Yes, if I wanted
Hey.
to step all over my joke with it.
Sis can't relate.
If I wanted to see that movie, I'd just go home. Thank you!
He'll be here all week, people. Huh? This guy. Huh?
He'll be here all week because his
Thank you
wife
very
will
much.
not let
Let
him
him
go
back
after
home.
that comment.
Don't forget to tip me. All right, so moving right along, if it's not Glenn Close, I would like it to be Lady Gaga,
Yes.
just because of the spectacle. This is why we have award shows.
Yeah, but okay, if Gaga doesn't take it, I really want Melissa McCarthy to win because
of
that's a
course.
comedian that we literally. I didn't notice her in that role. Like you say, she disappeared in that role. She did such a good job showing her range.
She's known for comedic roles,
Yes.
and this is the first kind of majorly dramatic role she's done in quite some time, and it is an incredible performance. You hate this woman, but you love her because of Melissa McCarthy, and that's not easy to balance. So we talked about a lot of fun stuff.
I love that she needed the money. She created a job for herself. Like a little bit of criminal activity,
sure.
a lot of it, but she got through it. So what was the craziest or just, quite frankly, worst job you've ever had?
Worst job, I would have to say, goes to either I shucked oysters.
Shucked oysters.
Without gloves or an
Ooh.
oyster shucking knife. Somebody just handed me like a random paring knife. And by the end of the day, I was like, I'm going to go to the hospital because my hands were just like a mess. He's like, "Are you coming back tomorrow?" And I was like, "No, I'm literally going to the hospital. Like I've damaged myself." And
this is a problem.
Like truly, I literally was like, "See you at the emergency room." That, and I also tried to sell photo packages for like a company of like, do you need a family photo pack? And you had to read like a 2-page thing. I was like, can I just shorten it to see if people are, they're like, read it exactly. And it was 6 or 8 of us in a hotel room sitting on a bed with a phone on our lap.
Oh, you'd call them?
Yeah, cold call, and we were just handed a phone book.
And you just
and
go,
we each got a letter. It was not great, and I did not sell one package.
It's okay. You had good experience with the oysters, and now you're here, right? So.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's going to win, but definitely deserved to be nominated.
Yes.
And keep in mind, it's not her first nomination. Melissa McCarthy nominated for what?
Bridesmaids.
Yeah, see?
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or
And
not.
now,
Should have won for that.
I know. She
Oh, for
definitely should have.
sure.
I think so. I'm a big fan of Gaga, but Melissa McCarthy, after seeing her performance,
Yes.
definitely.
All right, so
I'm torn.
Final thoughts on Best Actress. I think it's going to be my wife. The wife.
I'm gonna say it's Glenn Close.
Probably Glenn Close, but I want Gaga.
Oh my God, Melissa McCarthy in my Gloria voice.
Again, channeling his inner Gloria. All right, coming up next, it's the Triple Bs.
Not my bra size.
It's the Triple Bs like
Black Klansman.
and
Black Panther.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
nothing wrong with the double B. Hey, welcome back. It is our hour-long Oscar special. Getting through it. It's Lance, it's Maria Gloria, Gloria Maria, and Kelly Savannah Deaton. All right, so moving on to the big enchilada. This is Best Picture. I'm making my predictions right now. I'm rarely wrong on this one, but I have been wrong on this one. I think it's going to be Roma.
Really? You know what? I'm gonna come in hot and say Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yep, I'm thinking Bohemian too.
Really?
I'm going Black Panther.
Think so?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
I would like it to be Black Panther only because I like to see massive movies that people really go see to take the Oscars. My favorite years were when Titanic won,
Yes.
when Lord of the Rings won.
Yes.
I'd like to see it be a Black Panther year, culturally, absolutely, and a comic book movie winning.
Yes.
How great would that be?
Yeah.
I was just about to follow up with that. It'd be so dope to see a comic book movie take home a statue, you guys.
That
Like
would be amazing.
So, if not a comic book movie, maybe the Academy will hear us wrong and it's going to be a book movie and Green Book will take it. Why should Green Book win or not win?
Well, Mahershala Ali, again, he's an Academy favorite.
And I think he's
won-
gonna win.
He had a 2-second role in Moonlight and won Best Supporting Actor,
Right.
Oh,
right?
yes.
And it was well deserving. And
Very.
he is so good in this movie. And I love that it's so important right now. It's timely, just
Of
like
course.
Black Panther. And I just think that I'm a huge fan of Mahershala Ali, so
Yeah.
I think that he could.
But when the doctor's family shows up and says, yeah, it didn't really go down like that,
Yeah.
they discredit the story, I think that's going to hurt it.
Yeah, but I mean, Hollywood does take liberties in almost everything. Even with Bohemian
Even with
Rhapsody,
Bohemian Rhapsody.
there's a lot of things that weren't accurate in that. So,
All right.
you know,
Let's talk about Black Klansman. Spike Lee, does he have a shot? Why should it or should it not win?
only Spike Lee could make a movie like this and have something so serious and throw a little comedy in there and you leave the movie and you feel his call of action.
Right.
Only Spike Lee is able to do that, and that's a balance in and of itself.
All right, so I don't think it's going to be Spike Lee's year. I think the nomination is the win. I think if there is an upset this year, it is going to be Black Panther.
And everyone wants that because, again, it's a movie someone enjoyed and it's a comic book movie and
Yes.
it's culturally relevant. It's a perfect contender for this year's Oscar.
Let's talk about its Oscar pedigree already. People that have already won Academy Awards in
Angela
Black Panther.
Bassett.
Angela Bassett is
Forrest
amazing in it.
Whitaker.
I talked to him about his relationship with the director. Take a look.
I love it for a multitude of ways, but let me start with my love of Ryan Coogler as a director. When he first started coming up, and having gone to Sac State, same school, followed his career, and then I know that Fruitville wouldn't have gotten made if not for you.
I was fortunate, that when he was in school at USC, that he came over and started to pitch a few ideas, and right away I could see Fruitvale was the one to do it. So it was actually decided in the Room the Verse meeting that we were going to produce the movie based on him and what I saw in him, and me and my partner Nini Yang raised the money and made the film.
So when he called you to say, I got it, I'm doing Black Panther, and you've got to be a part of it, any shock, any surprise, or did you kind of know that you'd be working together in this way someday?
Well, I was hopeful that I would get a chance to get in front of the camera with him because I think he's such an amazing director, So when he called to talk to me about it, he was more like, "Would you be interested, in it?" And I was like, "Of course, There wasn't a script at the time, but I just committed to Ryan and what I knew that he would be able to create.
I'd love to see it win. I hope it wins. Even if it does win, I still have a little issue with the Academy that Ryan Coogler, the director, didn't get nominated. What's wrong with you?
I think we got snubbed in the director category, period, you guys. But again, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
All right, on to your other boyfriend, Rami Malek and Bohemian Rhapsody. You think Bohemian Rhapsody is going to win the Oscar? Why?
Yes, because the Live Aid concert, you guys, just that picture itself, that's the first thing you see when you watch the movie. That's the first thing they filmed, and it just immersed you in this movie. It totally took you in and put you into this world.
You talked to Rami Malek about his transformation in that way.
First of all, I'm going to fangirl a little bit. He was so amazing at explaining how he did have to live this rock star and bring this character to life of this rock star, this god, this superhuman of a person. But he also had to kind of strip him down in the most respectful way of his vulnerabilities, of how he really was a really shy person. He was actually a really kept introvert, but just loved what he did so much and loved his band, loved his family so much, and that ultimately was a big part of his weaknesses.
I loved your talk at one of the most important premieres the movie had. Take a look.
From day one, I feel like it was a roller coaster, because from day one you guys shot like the most epic scene of the movie. Am I correct?
Yes, yeah. We shot Live Aid, one of the greatest rock performances in history, and that's it. Trial by fire.
So it was never a dull moment on set, I'm assuming.
No, when you step into Freddie's shoes, there's never a dull moment. On set, off set, in between takes. Yeah, this is a role of a lifetime.
Yeah, and you got everybody's blessing. You got her sister's blessing, the rock stars.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, people talk about how you feel after completing this film, and that's the greatest thing, having their acceptance and knowing that they appreciated that we had some tiny part in telling their story.
Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for everything. That movie was amazing. Congrats. Congrats.
We will.
Okay.
We'll see. All right, coming up next, let's talk about Best Director nominees. Who's going to take it home? Will it be for Roma? Will it be for Vice? Or will it be Spike Lee's Night with Black Klansman? We'll talk about it all next. Hey, welcome back. It is Extra Butter and our hour-long Oscar special. We're just about halfway through right now talking about Best Director. I know you at home are saying, please let it be Holokowski, because I love the movie Cold War. Yeah. You're probably not saying that because you probably haven't seen it. It only played on about 14 screens.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful love story. I mean, it goes over. You usually can't have love stories in very traumatic times like that. And this movie, I don't know.
It's a period piece set in the 1990s.
Yes, but we love a good impossible romance movie. We're a sucker for those. Yeah. I mean, I understand the hype for the people that did watch it. I understand why it got nominated.
Yeah.
Also nominated for Best Foreign Language Film. I think it's got a better shot there. I don't think you're going to see a Best Director win for this, but good luck to him. You know who might creep up and might get up into it might be Spike Lee, and I think that would be a fun speech to watch at the Oscars.
Oh, yes. If anything, just give it to us for the speech. We want to hear that.
Just let him go up there and accept the speech for anything.
Sure.
And Spike got to win something because the Knicks lost 17 games in a row. So we need Spike to get some kind of something to celebrate Spike.
That might make things better with the world if Spike Lee wins.
Yeah.
That would be, I mean, it would be...
It would be enough.
It would be warranted if he were to win Best Director for his film.
Yeah.
I think if he win Best Director, they should put the Knicks in the playoffs.
I think another good bet would be Adam McKay for the movie Vice.
Yes, I've been waiting to talk about that one.
All right, why do you think he might win?
Because, again, it's just, we know Adam McKay as being the funny guy. We know Adam McKay is doing Talladega Nights or silly little movies. You don't really picture him in the academies. You don't picture him winning an Oscar. And just because of that, I want to see him winning an Oscar, because he showed his range, because he showed that he can make a serious movie and still make it funny and make it relevant and still encapsulate the watchers.
And make a pretty boring story really riveting for people, and that's hard to do. So and that in and of itself right there, no offense to anyone in the movie, but I mean, politics are kind of tricky for some people to watch, right? You don't necessarily want to spend your time and money watching a movie, but Adam McKay made it enjoyable.
Yes, because that's what comedians do. They turn tragedy into comedy. Am I right, Lance?
Booyah!
Yes.
All right then. We'll see about that. I sat down with the director to talk about it. Take a look.
That's a good group of people right there. Come on.
And during that time, I said, you guys have some kind of magic. You got to do this again. And in my simple mind, I'm thinking, yeah, go do a road trip buddy picture or something.
And you said, well, we're definitely going to work together again. And this.
Whew, man. Yeah, I mean, we talked about doing something else. Little did I know that we would find one of the most challenging characters for Christian ever. And one of the most mysterious, I think, ever. And little did I know that Christian would deliver, in my opinion, I'm a director, I'm behind the camera,
yeah,
one of the most breathtaking performances I've ever seen.
Amen.
Yeah.
At what point was he attached? At what did you start with the material and go, I'm going to develop this out for Christian, or did you think, I wonder
Instantly. I just, you know, I'm sure we're all the same way. I'm a film fan. I want to go see movies that I'm intrigued by.
Yeah.
And I just thought, what would I put $15 down on the table for if you told me Christian Bale playing Dick Cheney, I will go see that movie. So I knew it was him right away. And then the second discovery was, oh my God, his wife is actually, they're kind of one and the same. And then I needed Amy Adams, who also happens to be one of the great actors on planet Earth. So between the two of them, man, it was incredible to watch.
I'd love to see your funny man win this. However, I don't think he's going to take it.
No.
Go ahead and give a big round of applause to Alfonso, who's going to win for Roma.
Oh, yes.
For sure. But it'd be cool, though. It'd be cool. And just the fact that we're getting our name on a ballot, that's awesome.
Alfonso is going to win 100% because people love when people make movies about their personal life. And this is a powerful story about his own personal life. And who can direct your own life better?
It feels...
a lot like Lady Bird, almost.
Yeah, it feels very autobiographical. It feels voyeuristic, some of these scenes. Coming up next, is Christian Bale going to continue his run with Vice? Will it be Bradley Cooper for A Star is Born? Will it be the lovely and talented Willem Dafoe for Eternity's Gate? Or will your boyfriend Rami Malek take it for Bohemian Rhapsody?
We all know who's going to win, guys. We all know.
We'll talk about it next.
Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Takes a lot to change, man. Hell, it takes a lot to try.
Welcome back. It is our extra butter hour-long Oscar special. We're at the halftime. So I feel like somebody should be putting on a performance. Give us a concert.
We can do better than Adam Levine.
Yes, we sure can.
Hot damn. Oscars will not be boring, I guarantee you, because so much could happen.
It's up in the air.
Yeah, it might start with Best Actor. Normally I have this one on lock. I thought 2 weeks ago it was going to be Christian Bale, but I don't know. Why should Christian Bale win?
He did a really good job, okay? He really did commit to this role. He did put on all that weight.
Yeah.
Man, 40 pounds.
Yes. I commend him for that, but honestly, I don't think he's gonna win.
Lance, let me ask you a question. Do you think he should be discounted? Because a lot of people are saying that he did gain the weight, but there's also a lot of prosthetic makeup going on there too. Do you think that's doing some of the heavy lifting for him?
No, you do put on all the makeup, do it all. Christian Bale is always gonna get awards in my book because he was Batman. I'm Batman.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That is
and
true.
he built the foundation by gaining all that weight.
Good
and
point.
all the hours of makeup, that's annoying.
We talked about diet. Take a look. So I've seen Broadway shows like The Elephant Man where there's no prosthetics and you start to see the thing that you're supposed to see or the outward. Right. So with that said, do you need the weight gain and the prosthetics before you fully feel in character, or would it be there without?
I certainly felt like I did need that. I also wanted that there's a section in the middle where I'm more free of any suits or anything, where it is kind of the pivot point of the weight that I got to.
Sure.
I thought that I did. I'm not so sure now. There's two reasons. One is my own health. I don't think I can keep doing this. Right. But also, I gave a call to somebody who's always been a great inspiration to me, to Gary Oldman, and I knew he had played Winston Churchill. And I asked him a question. I said, well, how many pounds did you gain for that? And he said, no, I didn't gain any weight. And I went, no, you're not understanding.
And by that time, I was already like 25 pounds
Right.
heavier and still going, still chomping like a sumo wrestler. And he said, "No, Christian, I didn't gain a pound." So I went, "Oh, man. Well, I'm already down this path." But it does appear as though prosthetics have come such a long way that it can be achieved without that yet. But I didn't know that, and I'm stubborn, and I felt like I really had to achieve it, at least partially.
When you're headed down that path, what's the food of choice that you most look forward to on the upswing?
Eggs and rice.
And when you're losing it, what's the food?
My kids' leftovers.
You know, I talked to him while he was making this movie and he was putting on the pounds.
Yeah, I remember his reaction when you basically called him overweight.
Yeah, Mark, if that was a woman, you would have gone smack.
It's not like I set it up like, Lance, you saw it, get my back. It's not like I said
Hey,
that.
man, and he knew he put the weight on. Like, he could feel it. He feel himself
He's
breathing
aware,
heavy.
I don't think he was shocked. I almost put an eye out when his button popped.
We definitely.
Take a look. Congrats on your new look, I think.
Oh.
Do you prefer to be up or down in weight?
Up or down in weight? It's tricky to get like the clothes because I end up having to wear just a lot of elasticated pants.
Right. I would guess that the lifestyle's better when you're up because you can pretty much eat whatever you want. In fact, more of it than you want.
Yeah, I know, but your heart tends to give out.
Yeah, there is
After
that.
a while, so there is that. Yeah.
So yeah, he didn't quite get the critical acclaim he thought he would for Hostiles, but I was talking to him specifically about setting up for this role in Vice. I don't think he's going to win.
No.
What do we think about Willem Dafoe? The nomination is the win?
Yep, perfect casting choice. Willem Dafoe's one of those actors that he's just humbled to be acting for so long. He's just humbled to still be in the game, still getting all these amazing roles.
Still be relevant.
Yeah, and I mean, he'll always be relevant because he is a phenomenal actor, but again, I don't think he's gonna take it.
I talked to him about Aquaman and tried to get into this a little bit. Take a look. So I'm thinking about your career. You've pretty much done it all. Sometimes a couple times now in your film career.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to do a range of things, yeah, and it still goes on, so I'm happy. Lately I've been able to mix things up, like do an Aquaman next to something like At Eternity's Gate, this movie where I play Van Gogh.
Yeah, there are two things I would bid on eBay. One, your outfit from this, and two, one of those paintings, because I know you painted in real time when you played Van Gogh, which is bananas, awesome.
Cool.
Willem Dafoe is one of those people, when you sit down with them, you feel like you're talking to someone playing a caricature of Willem Dafoe because he's so iconic. Kind of like Jeff Goldblum, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Respect.
All right, we might as well walk away and just let Gloria talk for a moment about Rami Malek.
Okay. You guys, I'm just ready for him to have all of the statues already because he's been killing it. He's been just collecting them, and he's just been such a humble winner, such a really best dressed winner as well. But he got his critics, he got his SAG, he got his Golden Globe. He's gonna get the statue, you guys. He's gonna do it. I just feel it in my heart.
Speaking of leaning into Freddie Mercury, I grew a mustache just to interview Rami Malek. That's what kind of a dork I am. Take a look.
Pose with that mustache. Come on, a little Freddie pose.
You know, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're nailing it.
I'm giving it a shot.
You've embraced it.
You're doing well. It's a real mustache that I grew just for
Yes.
today. May I get a wide shot over there, please? Yes. All right.
I just saw you the other day, right? And you did not have a mustache.
I interviewed you like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So you know I'm not when
No,
I
you're
say I
not
grew this
bullshit.
just for today. Each of you, down the road, what is the moment you've seen that you're most proud of?
I think Live Aid's pretty amazing. Yeah, it was quite a buzz doing it. It was the first thing we did in the whole shoot, so it was like real kind of baptism of fire, jumping in at the deep end. But that kind of set the tone for the whole thing. So that's there's so many highlights, but that's one of the highlights.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that. That's the biggest accomplishment from my end is all the time it took to rehearse for that and to do the full set. We did the entire set on the, I don't know, 5th or 6th day, about 2 or 3 straight run-throughs.
Wow.
With 3 cranes, cameras everywhere.
Man, was that for the interview you grew that, or that was for the porn convention after, right? Don't lie. You killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
He timed it out really well.
Right, you did.
I was trying to go for Freddie Mercury, but you don't want to be walking around the Vegas Strip in that mustache because people think you're hunting for something else.
Yeah. Or you are the hunted. Yes.
You definitely look like you were on the hunt, though.
There's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Segue. Tell me something, girl.
Maybe it's time to let the old ways.
All right, Bradley Cooper. He learned how to sing. He directed a movie while at the same time laying down one of the best performances of the year.
Yes.
Is he going to win Best Actor?
I don't think so, but
really?
I want him to. I want him to because he went so out of his comfort zone. Not only did he first time direct, but he helped write this movie. He sang in this movie. He acted. He got Gaga the role. I mean, he was just all encompassing in this, and I would love to see him win because he's so.
Lance, so he was snubbed for Best Director. Do you think there's going to be a contingency in the Academy that will give him a sympathy vote for actor?
No.
I'll give it to him. I enjoyed him the most out of the actors on this list.
Ooh,
yes.
She's gonna slap you.
I mean, I don't want no problems, but you know, did Rami Malek put Dave Chappelle in the movie? No, he didn't.
He didn't have to.
Did Rami put Linnell in a movie?
First of
No,
all,
he didn't.
He didn't have to.
We talked. Funny you should say it. We talked about the supporting cast. Take a look. So, in talking to directors, Scorsese and a handful of others, all, and I know to a certain extent they're being self-deprecating, but they say all the work is getting casting. Well, with that said, how'd you feel the day that you landed Lady Gaga?
That was the day where the movie was born, really. You know, I'd done all sort of a lot of groundwork to create, you know, a landscape, but if it couldn't be inhabited by her, there is no movie.
Right.
But you know, they're right, these directors, because Sam Elliott, without Sam Elliott, I'd have to rewrite that whole relationship with the brother. If Dave Chappelle didn't come in, if Andrew Dice Clay didn't come, if Anthony Ramos, you know, even smaller characters.
Linnell.
I was just going to say, dude, Linnell, you just took it out of my mouth. Linnell, Eddie Griffith Jr.
Right.
Ron
show up.
Rifkin, who plays the rehab specialist.
Every one of them elevate the scenes they're in, and that speaks to the director, I think, too.
Oh, well, thank you.
I think it'd be nice if he wins, but I really think it's going to be Rami Malek.
I
It's
do.
between Rami, maybe Christian Bale.
Yeah, and
we'll
I'm
see.
just going to say if he gets a sympathy win, I'm going to be really mad because Rami also put his heart and soul into this movie, and that would not be fair at all.
Honorary mention Viggo Mortensen. I don't think he's going to win if the nomination is the win.
Right. That's good.
This is a good Jersey accent, though.
Yeah, you did a nice job there. There you go. Nice work. All right, as we continue our hour-long Extra Butter Oscar special, let's talk about it. Original screenplay, the category no one cares about, but we're talking about it anyway next.
Hey.
Welcome back. It's Extra Butter and our hour-long Oscar special. All right, I'm glad we're knocking out this category now because this is when you get up to go to the buffet or the bathroom or whatever you do when Best Original Screenplay hits.
Aww, that's true.
That's so sad, though, you guys, because I actually get really stoked for this category.
I think the Academy members, when they want to vote for a movie for Best Picture, but they vote for something else, they decide to vote on Best Original Screenplay for the movie that they didn't give it to. You think?
That's actually, that's a pretty good definition.
So with that
of
said,
it.
do you think Green Book's got a shot? What do you guys think?
A Green Book, Facebook. I like books. So
right.
anytime a book can win, I'm with it.
Are you with, like, Oprah? Book club?
Yeah.
No, I don't think
Kelly
so.
Van Eaton, you're a big fan of The Favorite. Do you think that's going to be your Best Original Screenplay?
Actually, yes. I think, I'm going to say it right now, I think that's the winner.
Yeah.
I think because of the aforementioned default, that's where all the votes are going. You think?
The Favorite, yeah. And that's just a great movie. I think so.
Maria, you have championed Vice throughout the show.
Yes.
But why not here? Why not for this category?
Because I feel like it's not going to hold its. I feel like it's not going to hold its own in this specific category because
Right.
it's not as strong of a screenplay or original screenplay. But I'm gonna have to go with Kelly and say that I think it's gonna be The Favorite because again of what you said, the aforementioned
By default.
By default.
I'd like it to win just so we could say the guy who brought you Anchorman is winning an Academy Award.
Right?
And I talked to Adam about that. If you haven't noticed from our limited interactions together, I'm quite the simpleton. So it's probably not hard for you to imagine that anything I learned that I needed to learn as a kid, I learned from the, I'm Just a Bill, the Schoolhouse Rock.
Darn right.
I consider you to be kind of the Schoolhouse Rock for adults on politics.
I love it. What happened to Schoolhouse Rock? It worked for me, too. Like, by the way, we're all basic, simple people. Like, this stuff should be explained, but instead it's presented to us as complicated and boring. And
right.
So what we're trying to do is counteract that. I mean, this is where the real power is. This is what's changing our lives.
Can I tell you why I don't want Adam McKay to win?
Why?
Because I want him to force to go back to what he was doing before. I wanted Anchorman 3.
That doesn't make sense.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Yes,
Exactly.
Poor Kanye.
Exactly.
Still come.
All right, I guess, should we talk about First Reformed? Anybody see First Reformed? Did you see First Reformed? Anybody? Nobody?
I heard a pin drop when
Hello?
you asked that.
You haven't seen First Reformed either?
Exactly.
How'd I call you back?
Stomp on that cricket that's down there. All right, coming up next, let's talk about Best Adapted Screenplay. Another category that sends you to the bathroom or the buffet. Who's going to win it, and do you care? It doesn't matter. We're talking about it anyway next. Welcome back. It is Extra Butter, our hour-long Oscar special. Look, you can tell we're like really digging into it. We're about to run out of popcorn.
Oh no.
That never happens.
Good thing I brought my own.
Really? Have you ever brought your own popcorn to a movie theater?
Yes. Walk right to the front. Say, my man, could you pop this for me? I'm in theater number 3. You know what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I would do that with everything. I would bring, like, if I needed some Chinese food warmed up while I watched my movie. Some Chipotle, bring your burrito.
All you got to do is, if you don't ask, they don't know.
All right. Speaking of getting food, that's exactly what you're going to be doing, or going to the bathroom when they start talking about best adapted screenplay. Let's go ahead and talk about it right here.
So I'm gonna go with Can You Ever Forgive Me? That's my vote.
All right, why do you think that?
Because you take Lee Israel's story and you adapt it, you throw Melissa McCarthy in there. That right there is a winner. That's all you need.
I mean, I agree with this 1000%, but A Star Is Born has been adapted 4 times. But you guys, this is actually a verb. Like people say, I'm a star is borning in the in the world of cinema, in the world of musicals. So I'm really gonna hand it to A Star Is Born. I'm gonna root for A Star Is Born.
I will say both of those screenplays spent a lot of time in dive bars. That's not what you talked to Melissa about, but she was passionate.
I'm hooked. I actually want to go buy the book and I want to know more.
That's like the greatest thing I could hear. I think one of the more exciting things is that so many people seeing this will know Lee, know her story, and then like the thought of people going out and getting her books. I know that would mean a lot to her.
Oh yes, I'm definitely going to buy it. Had you heard of her before filming?
I hadn't.
No.
And I was so kind of disappointed in myself. I thought, why don't I know who Lee Israel is, and why don't I know her story? And then, I was like, my God, the FBI is coming in. I just thought this is like an incredible story that you kind of can't believe is true. And I feel lucky that I got to know her story.
Yeah, you can tell she's pretty much giving credit there to the person we're talking about. Lee Israel is the backbone of this story.
And Lee Israel is not a likable woman, but Melissa McCarthy and you as the audience, you root for her. Even though she's a miserable human being, you do root for her.
So again, back to the Academy, sometimes when they snub a movie over here, they'll actually give it some weight over here, and I think for that reason, Beale Street is probably going to have a really good shot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is the category where they're going to shine. This is why people need to stay in the seats and support these categories a lot more.
Yeah, that's exactly what I talked to him about. Not really, but look. This is one of those movies that after you see it the first time, it's under your skin. Like my mind will be going back to this movie for different reasons for decades.
Well, that's how I felt about reading the book for the first time, so I think that's a good thing, yeah.
Talk about where you started, the genesis of this, when casting landed, when you knew you had it.
Yeah, I wrote the script originally in 2013. Didn't have the rights to the book, but I just wrote it. And so I sent a copy of the script to the Baldwin estate, and over the course of 3.5, 4 years, basically, got to know the estate. They got to know me while we were making Moonlight. And then just as Moonlight was coming out, was being released in theaters, we got the rights to the book, and then we started thinking about cast and really casting a wide net to find our Tish, which ultimately became newcomer Kiki Lane.
So there's Barry Jenkins, and to clear things up, he did write Moonlight. However, for this,
James Baldwin. This movie's based on the book written by James Baldwin.
There you go. Thus adapted.
And Moonlight won. Let us not forget.
I know. Barry Jenkins, strong contender.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Man, that rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
The Ballad of Buster.
You know what I'm talking about. The Coen brothers brought this to life. It's one of those movies that has the average moviegoer scratching their head, though I know a lot of people love what the Coen brothers do.
That's true.
Did this story give them enough to bring to life?
I don't think so.
Black Klansman. This is great source material.
Yes.
I love the play. I love the tone. I love the pacing of this story. But do you think the nomination is the win?
Well, I'm going to go out and say that I think Spike Lee really took a chance in bringing this movie into the theaters, but then again, this is the right time to do it. So because of that, because of the way it impacted us as an audience at this time in culture, really, I think it might have a shot.
It's an amazing movie, and again, when you're watching this, it's not like you're watching a century ago. This is only decades ago, and in that way, it almost plays like a horror movie. This movie is terrifying in some way. You guys ready to move on to movies that people saw and liked?
Yay!
All right, best animated feature. I am never wrong on this. This year will not be the exception. I'll tell you who's going to dethrone Pixar next. Welcome back. It is Extra Butter, our hour-long Oscar special. We're going on fumes. The popcorn's almost gone because we're just about done.
Yay!
All right, the category that I always get right. It's the one I throw in because it helps my curve when it comes to the office pool. Animated feature.
Yep.
It's almost always a good bet to vote on Pixar. This year, not the case, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Right now, let's talk about Pixar's cousin, Disney. Disney Animation brought us Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yes.
What's its chance of winning?
I'm gonna say slim, because I know that it's a great movie. I watched it. My daughter loved it. We all gave it our sample approval. It's very relevant. It brought a lot of elements of like the influencer culture, social media, all that stuff. Everything that's trending. Literally, that was the whole plot of the movie.
In the meantime, I did sit down with Sarah Silverman because I do love the lady power that surprisingly came out of nowhere with Ralph Breaks the Internet. We talked. Take a look.
Disney princesses, the metamorphosis of what it is to be a Disney princess has come so far, and you know, it has gone from looking back on it problematic. Certainly, it wasn't in the moment, you know, and then it's inclusivity and it's progress. It's just. I love that they were willing to put themselves out there and, you know, reflect who they are, who they were, who they are, and what it is to be a Disney princess, all the way to this little Jewish kid with an attainable waist in sweats.
A lot of my friends work at Pixar Animation Studios. I always bet on them because they make nothing short of masterpieces.
Yep.
And indeed, Incredibles 2 was a masterpiece.
Yes.
Will it win?
No. And it had such a strong message.
Yes.
Like the woman no longer staying home. She's getting out there kicking butt. She's the superhero first and foremost in this film. So I like that swap. I think that was really strong. However, again, I think we all know who the winner is.
Yes.
Right. I like that it had the ties that bind, and that would be family, and that's what Holly talked about.
The movie is still about fundamentally the family. I mean, this is the thing that sets this animated film and the superhero aspect of the film apart from all others, is I think that it bows to the God of family, and that's kind of a humble God, and something that everyone recognizes. Everybody is part of, for better or worse, a family.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and give a big round of applause. The Best Picture Animated of the year for the Oscars 2019 goes to Into the Spider-Verse. Yes. From the moment I sat down at this movie, and keep in mind, I wasn't thinking I was going to like this movie that much. I liked the trailer, but I thought, it's a little too realistic, but not realistic enough. Yeah. My God, did I love this movie a lot.
Yeah, I have to agree, because the minute I saw, because the trailer didn't even buy me into it. I was like, it's too much, it's too comic booky, I do not like this animation style. No, you forget all about that the minute you sit down and this movie starts playing. It's beautiful.
I talked to the creators of this movie, not so much about this movie, but their other movie, but while talking to them about the Lego 2 movie, I kind of talked about this movie, but they realized we couldn't because it was Warring Studios. Take a look. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. What's going on? How are you, buddy? Great to see you. What's happening?
It's been all of 3 weeks, so I'd like to keep this going.
I know. Let's be best friends. We have another junket that we're just going to do just no topic. We don't need a movie. We're just going to talk about life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about life.
Yeah,
What's good in your life right now?
Oh gosh, we feel really proud of this movie and how well it turned out, how fun it was to make with everybody, you know, there was another movie that we talked about a few weeks ago, and that's also doing great, and we're just, we feel really lucky.
It's getting a few nods here and there. I hear good things about that one. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with us for this hour-long Oscar special. Let's keep the conversation going even during the Academy Awards. Follow Extra Butter TV. We're going to be hanging out, talking about it live during the Academy Awards. And where do we find you on social media?
Lance Woods, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Sir Lance Woods.
There you go.
Boom, and Kelly Savannah Deaton. Kelly Savannah Deaton. Keep it easy.
Maria Gloria, follow me. I will be live tweeting this ish.
I'm lazy, so I'll just be sharing her tweets. Yay! Follow me though at TV Marcus Allen. Enjoy the Oscars. Thanks for hanging out with us. You know who wants this show to end? These people over here, more than anybody.
I know.
It's almost over. We're rolling credits right now.
Almost done.
Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure and subscribe, turn on your notifications, and click here to get more videos like this.